you like. Pound that like button, baby.
Pound it.
Boom. Do we have did we bring over?
Old Scotty? Yeah, I can find Old
Pelt,
Scotty.
Ready to pound a bottle of brown liquor is what he said.
That was after
right?
a Bojo dunk that we had on those airwaves at the time, which was really funny.
Florida State won it on a dunk.
Yeah, I remember hitting
the buzzer.
I remember going right to the studio and trying to record the full show, SVP and Russillo, because I knew that there would be a take on it.
Well, Russillo baited him. He's like, that was a really nice play.
And it led to the infamous
pound it.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. We kept that forever. That was good. All right. I'm situated. I'm ready to roll. Everybody good? You guys are good out there. Hey, by the way, thanks for the response, everybody. So, I ventured down the road yesterday of asking for a responsible and humane source for protein, for meat, and where places, what places around town did that. And I found them. I found a lot. A lot of people responded. A lot of people had really insightful commentary and links and ideas for me to check out. Just say, hey, take a look here, take a look there. This place is pretty good over here too. I got people in Atlanta. I had people in Tallahassee, Thomasville, Wassissa, all over the place.
There's butchering going on all over.
Well, but it wasn't about that. It was kind of cool. It was actually with some of those folks, they actually wanted me to expound. So I did, but the place to do that was off the air, right? Kind of explain where I'm at with all that. So it was good. Loosey-goosey. Oh, man, I was a little worried that would happen last night. The Dodgers win, running away with it, ugly.
So is the series over again?
No, but I kind of worried about it. I was like, damn, their next two starters are really good. This is problematic. I could just wanted to get that one. The Bucs are without 4 starters again this weekend. It's unbelievable.
Who are we missing now?
No Gronk, no Antonio Brown, no Levante David, no Richard Sherman, which we knew. Maybe several other guys out too. Bucs are, the walking wounded again.
No AB. Maybe Mike Evans will stop pouting this weekend because he'll be targeted more frequently.
I haven't really picked up. Is he targeted that bad?
I don't know that the targets necessarily are terrible, but his body language this year has been more than noticeable. Multiple games where he just kind of shuts it down because it's not an accurate throw or he's open and Brady's not looking his way. Yeah. It's interesting. A little dynamic at play. Nothing crazy. We talked about it yesterday, how Fox made, TO Cam very profitable over the decades.
The worst.
It's not gotten to anything like that. But if you watch every single play of every single game, then you notice it. You go, Mike, chill out, man. The dude just won you a Super Bowl. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. The weirdest thing is, whenever you talk about Mike Evans, you have to acknowledge a lot of things while also not being afraid to say some other things. And I sometimes have probably erred on the side of being overly critical of Mike Evans because he's got, I was going to say something wildly inappropriate about his hands that are shaky, that are suspect at times.
Rocks for hands. He
does. He's old stone hands.
Situational rocks.
Yes. Old stone hands will rise up in a game and you're like, oh, 4th drop on the day, huh, Mike? That one was on 3rd and 9. Gonna need that one. So that drives me crazy about him. But you also just have to acknowledge that off the field, apparently he is an awesome dude. He does a million things for charity. He's a great guy. He's gone out of his way he's philanthropic. He does a lot of great things. Which I like. I appreciate.
Well, the best thing about his game is actually get off the line of scrimmage.
For that size.
With that size, you don't think it's... No, but he just consistently runs by dudes, different parts and
he uses his body really well. Yeah. Obviously, once he stacks...
He can wall you off and then bam.
Well, that's the number one thing, is that he gets on top of you, he stacks, and then what are you going to go through him? I mean, he's a big dude. So he knows how to play with that size. A lot of guys are that size, they don't know how to play with that. He does it better than most. That's the other part that you always have to acknowledge, is that he's really good. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. He's a great player. He's just inconsistent, occasionally pouty. And
this year, that's been... I think it's because of the emergence of Antonio Brown being Tom's second favorite target, and it's not close. Like, the gulf is 87, 81. That's when the gulf begins. After that, it's like 14, and, maybe 25, Giovanni Bernard. Leonard Fournette's climbing up the rankings.
Very much so.
How often when we have to have a play do you think that, this ball's going to Mike Evans?
Not often.
Not often.
I'm usually saying it's going to AB or Gronk.
Right.
If Gronk is healthy, it's going to Gronk.
And it's not that he hasn't made big plays. That first drive up in Green Bay was huge.
That was great, yeah.
The interception that Tom threw in the second half in Green Bay was on Tom. Evans is wide open for a touchdown there.
Misses him, yeah.
Right.
Although he does get his hands on it. But anyway, yeah, that's just...
that is quite the airmail.
Yeah, it's not a great throw. Just great players, They make those tough plays.
And one catch in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm it's just interesting. He's not out for tomorrow. He needs to have a big game.
Here you go. You get all the targets, every single one of them.
Go make some plays. But it's weird. The Bucs are 5-1. The other good news is that Antoine Winfield, I should say, was cleared concussion protocol.
There you go. Need that. The secondary needs the help.
Yeah, we do. I'm tired of all these damn injuries. Get it together, everybody. It's pissing me off. Half the team's hurt every week.
That's the key for tomorrow. We don't want any more of them.
I will get to. No, we don't.
You just leave those injuries where they are right now, make them better. Get some rest. There we go. Long-term development. We got a big 5 weeks coming up after this one. Just get through this one, clock in, clock out.
So circling back to the Braves, obviously that became just a baby seal clubbing. That got ugly real quick, and it was sad. And I was like, okay, well, this is not even a game. I wanted to at least see a game because I didn't care about watching that Cleveland game. Turned out to be close, but good God, everybody's hurt. It's just a hard game to watch.
Man, I got killed on that one. I made a calculated play based upon some information, advanced metrics, and one of those things was if you look at the two teams, stack them up against each other, the highest rated element of either of the two teams was Denver's run defense.
Oops.
Right. The worst rated element between the two teams was Denver's coverage. So you would think Case Keenum, he was in the low 200s. I think Case Keenum's going to go over the number. Nope. Unfortunately, Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, had a day for the ages.
And he becomes this season's highest graded running back across any game, any player, you name it. Yeah. Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, healthy Christian McCaffrey. No, it's this dude on a Thursday night.
I saw somebody in my league picked him up against a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours who's into the gambling. And I thought, oh, that's a toughie. My man picked up, because his back is on a bye week. He grabs him. Thanks for the 30 points or whatever it was last night. You're like,
he was a monster.
Yeah, he was. It's fun. I do think that game. I knew to run and hide from that game. There was nothing about it I liked. I didn't have a feeling for the total. I didn't have a feeling for players. I didn't have a sense. I just like this game. It's too hodgepodge. It was an important win for Cleveland, though.
Didn't look like Denver was all that interested in being there the first half either. With the way that first quarter goes, you're like, man, this is a problem. They look disinterested.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. I back and forth with that. I actually caught myself watching a little Terrence Mann late last night.
Oh, you stayed up late?
Well, friends came into town.
Oh,
they were in town.
Right.
They didn't arrive until way past my bedtime. They didn't arrive until 10:45. And they've been on the road. They drove from Miami. So when you know how it is, anytime you've been on the road for 6-7 hours, you're wired when you get out of the car and you need to be up a little bit.
Get the cocktail to settle
down.
I
to do the right thing. I don't, somebody rolls into your house and you're like, yep, okay, good to see you. I'm going to bed. So I stayed up, but I was tired as hell because I'm an old man and I go to bed at like 10 every night unless there's a big game. And Cleveland didn't qualify as a big game to me. So I was kind of like, and the Braves are losing by 9 runs. I could probably call it a day because it looks like Taylor's just going to hit another home run every time he comes up. So I should just take it on down the road. And the next thing I knew, I got my second win watching the NBA. Bryce told me, hey, the Clippers are on. Let's go. Let's watch. He wants to watch Terrence Mann all the time. Loves him, which is great. Good guy to look up to. And he played great. And that game turned out to be great. I tell you what, just because early in the season, I don't watch a lot of NBA because of all the other stuff that's going on. But I'm glad I watched that game because it was just a friendly reminder that Steph Curry's ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. I mean, other area codes all the time. You cannot extend a defense out that far. You cannot. He'll just blow past you, especially when he gets a mismatch on the switch. And you're like, oh, nope, that big is screwed. He's out on the island against Steph with those handles. You're done.
Yeah, the legacy of Steph Curry is that there's going to be a 3-point line like at half court. In about 20 years, it's just going to be like, what are we doing here? The 3-pointers got to be moved all the way to half court because these guys could just make it. They grew up watching Steph Curry break all sorts of records, efficiency records, total 3-pointers made, the ease with which he does it at his size. Yeah. It's crazy.
No, it's kind of fun to watch. And he hit 2 huge threes in the last minute of that game, came down to the wire. It was a lot of fun to watch. I also kind of I had an extra hour or two to really lock in. I told you I'm on a big card this weekend, Tom. I am over. Now I worry about myself. You know how it is.
You do? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, you know how you do this, by the way. You can be over-informed, over-prepared. Now, that's not true when you're giving a speech or you've got to understand something thoroughly enough to teach it, but it is true in gambling. I think you can have too much information because if you just keep mining the information, eventually you get bogged down in the minutia of numbers that are probably not going to have an overriding effect on the game. You need to know some core things. Of course, everybody understands that. Is this team's run defense dreadful going against a top 5 rush offense? Those kinds of things are important to know. If, for example, you were to look up a number, say the University of Miami, and you see that they're last in the country in tackling, you could assume some things about Miami, namely that they're quitting and that they're soft. And that's a great thing to see about them. You'd be like, well, the numbers tell me Miami, soft. They're just that's what they are.
Soft. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Maybe the Warchant happy hour later, you can say something different, but not right now.
But it was great because I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great. Which made me feel even better about my NC State pick because NC State has a running back who's not soft. And I don't think they're going to want to come up and tackle him. So I still worry, by the way, that we're a little, you and I are rightfully suspicious. Yes, you're right, Preston. It is paralysis by analysis sometimes. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, that's important information to know. Some of this other stuff I don't need to know, and now I know everything about this game, from the starting left guard of UTSA to this thing. You know what I'm like? At some point, we're delving too deep. But I am worried about why that number is still 3, the NC State game.
Yeah, that is fishy.
What don't we know? What don't we know? I did some fishing around. They're not missing starters. I don't know what's going on.
Did a club on South Beach let a sharp know that NC State's going to sneak out of the hotel tonight?
I cannot figure it out. It's very interesting. And I saw where Felica, now he's a Miami alum, but the Bears took the Canes the day after he tweeted out that they're 0-6 against their last 6 Power 5 games. And they've covered once. Yeah,
well, you know who he took last week? And you could do this for anybody who's a sharp, but still, I couldn't believe that he even got to this place. He took Boston College over NC State last week.
That was dumb.
He's doubling down. It's personal now. He got embarrassed by the BC pick.
Well, this is a bad team to double down on. I mean, really? We're going to double down with Miami?
I didn't even hear him make the pick. I was on game day, and I saw the board behind him, and there was the Bear on Boston College. I'm like, what? What?
Hey,
how do you arrive at that point, sir? Please.
No, I don't get it. I would also note here really quickly, Clemson's in trouble. So they have the Joseph, not a kid, the wide receiver.
Yeah,
he's out with COVID. And then not only that, he's their leading receiver. 18 receptions, 352 yards. He's averaging almost 20 yards a catch. Now, they don't make a lot of catches down the field.
No, Wuhan's going to put him out there. He doesn't care. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's a hoax.
Yeah. So here's my favorite part, though. They could be without Frank Gladson, too. So that's their other good receiver. And actually, there's a bit of a word that they're kind of nervous. E.J. Williams could be out for a week or two, had his knee scoped. So now all of a sudden.
Did you say 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking.
There's a reason I'm doing this.
Dabo's going to cancel the game. That's what he's going to do. He's going to forfeit.
So if that happens, they got problems. I mean, can you imagine? You have your 3 top receivers out for the game against Pitt, and your offense is ass to begin with.
Please use that particular sequence of words with Walt next week. And your offense is ass to begin with. And see how the folks at Twin Peaks or wherever the hell he hosts his Friday show handle that bit of language. Please do.
I love it. Now, Walt, talk to me about the relative health of the wide receiving core. I know there may be 1, 2, even 3 guys out. That's devastating news for an offense who's ass to begin with. That's how you want me to do it?
Well, yeah, Jeff. That's a little strong there, but.
Oh, yeah. It's well, I don't know if it's a little strong. I think it's true. That's a bit of a problem. Hey, and did you see this? Because it affects Florida State. You know, I take a look around. I survey the landscape. What's what? Going all the way back to when I initially I mean, this is however many years ago now under Nick Saban, when I first started telling people on the air that Bama table is different. Every time I tune in to watch Alabama, and this is before that he'd rattled off 10 straight top 2 recruiting classes. And I was like, man, they're feeding them different at Alabama, everybody. Whatever's going on at that table needs to go on at this table. Tallahassee table has got to rise up to the Bama table. We still haven't. All these years later, we still haven't. Very few have. There are exceptions. I do look around some other programs. I'm like, they're big too. But Alabama always just looks Herculean. So, whatever. It's Alabama. It self-perpetuating the success. It's just on top of the previous year's successes. But in the same spirit of surveying the land and asking, are we doing all that we need to be doing in order to compete at a high level? Are we as involved, as committed, as engaged as we need to be in order to continue this climb, if you will? All right. Are we doing everything?
Yeah. You want to see syringes on the ground outside of the training facility.
Well, I mean, clean stuff up, but whatever you got to do.
What's that? Wait a minute.
Vitamin B shots. Don't worry about it. Whatever we got to do.
Pharmaceutical truck on fire outside of Doak.
Whatever we got to do. All right. These are trying times, but we have to be sure that we are keeping up with the Joneses. So get this, man. Tell me this didn't raise an eyebrow. Now, ever since I stopped running the now defunct ifollowthekitties.com, I have not locked in on individual battles or, kind of backstories for certain recruits that might help inform more in-depthly an opinion about a player and why he chose a certain school. I just surface level this thing. Very, very, I take a cursory glance, I look around, and I go, oh, I see where the number 1 rated defensive tackle has decided not to go to USC after all and now committed to Georgia. Who doesn't anymore? Who doesn't say yes to Kirby Smart in Georgia? Which, again, are we as committed as Georgia seems to be to winning recruiting battles?
We may be as committed, but are we as capable? That would be my question.
Yeah. In terms of the infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, you can have the commitment, but you might not be able to commit.
Yeah, you can't.
I'd love to commit to the university enough money to have a skybox. I don't have the capability to commit enough to have the skybox.
Yeah.
I'm committed enough to do it.
Yeah.
But,
you don't have the financial means.
I need to present a check.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There.
I'm committed, but
right.
You need money. I see. I just wanted you to know that I was loyal.
I do have the level of commitment necessary to get the box.
So, I look at this stuff. Stop spamming me. I'm on the air, everybody. So, here's the thing.
It's old Wuhan Dabo.
Well, he's pissed.
He's going to sue you.
He's blocked his number. So here's the thing. Here's why I bring it up. North Carolina, obviously not in the midst of a good season. Some would say they have not lived up to preseason expectations. Tom correctly first guessed that the Tar Heels were a fugazi. They were fraudulent. That the GOATs could be played anytime you mention North Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, we have a goat GIF. I didn't know that.
GIF. Good job. Look at that one kicking. He's so excited.
That's Mac Brown right there.
Goats are the best.
Look how athletic Mac is.
Yeah. Now, and that's the problem. Mac looks like he's about to die. I got to tell you. I told you that. I'm not kidding. Something's amiss. He looked off on the sideline. I'm worried. Mac's going to die. Anyhow, well, we're all going to die, but he may be dying soon. So just when it happens, understand.
I'll come back to you and I'll say, you know what? You won up my Arnold Palmer call. Jeez.
Yeah, but the Arnold Palmer call, he's 105. It wasn't hard to think that Arnold Palmer was going to die.
It was out of a positive spirit that I made that call because Jimmy Roberts is crying as he's interviewing him. I'm like, something's up. This is wrong. And he's in his office. He's not in the golf cart on the 18th green for people to say hello to him. What's going on? I don't like this. And then he's teeing off on the first tee, and Hootie or Billy, whatever his name is.
Talking about him in the past tense.
Right.
He's right there in front of you, Hootie.
Right. I did it from a place of a full heart.
Yeah.
You just kind of brought Mac down a little bit. Here's hoping it's just the career that's dead and buried, right?
What I'm saying is that when they panned over there on the sideline, when the game was still in the balance, Mac Brown looked like he was going to die. And I kept thinking, What the hell is going on with Mac? He's also putting on the pounds. Mac, push away. My man is huge. Anyhow, okay. Having said that.
Damn, this is a comprehensive takedown.
Okay. So last night, did you see this? Zach Rice, the number one offensive tackle in the country, committed to North Carolina. Why on earth would you commit to North Carolina? It's a program about to fall off a cliff. Their little one-day window special season a year ago is over. It's into the side of a mountain. Howell's out of there. What are you doing?
That is curious.
Yeah, okay. He's the number 9 overall prospect. Number 9 overall prospect in the nation.
Where does he hail from? Chapel Hill?
No, I looked it up because it was bothering me. I thought, this is not right. This does not sit well. Why is the number 1 offensive tackle in the country saying, by the way, here are the teams he said no to. Alabama, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame being an offensive line center.
Sure, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Nope, going to go to North Carolina. Are you? Really? That's what we're doing.
What's his name?
His name is Zach Rice.
Zach Rice Chevrolet in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, and he's from Lynchburg, Virginia. But, hey, man, 2 fingers to my eyes. We need to take a closer look at what's going on in North Carolina. You're North Carolina. Ass. Can't beat Florida State ever. Stop it. What are we doing? Committing to North Carolina. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000. Why? Because money talks.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Your next chance to win is coming up during the Jeff Cameron Show at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, then click on the Real Talk Money megaphone at realtalk93.com. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, you know these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mandlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Getting your roof inspected can save you thousands of dollars in the event of a major storm. Not to mention the peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected. At Parker Brothers Roofing, we make it easy with free estimates, affordable financing, and professional installation every time since 1995. Call 656-8112 or visit parkerbrothersroofing.net today.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
We are still resenting and lamenting, rightfully so, the fraudulence of the NCAA and their blatant and wanton disregard for North Carolina's over-the-top academic fraud for 20-plus years that allowed them to basically do whatever they wanted and not have to suffer consequences like the rest of the teams that played under the banner of the NCAA. But now the NCAA is virtually irrelevant, fairly impotent to say the least. And my point would be, why don't we do the same? Because I don't think there are consequences.
Well, if the NCAA says in that situation that because the false classes that never existed were available to the general student body, because of that fact, they can't punish the athletic department.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Why wouldn't you just keep doing it then?
Oh, we talked about this that day. I mean, there were a lot of other infractions too, by the way, that they ignored. Like, okay, well, listen, so apparently it is the wild, wild west. It became even more of the wild, wild west when we were able to do NIL. So I'm like, okay, well, then forget about it.
Take Section 11, young man. Mm-hmm. Section 11's the one you want. Trust me.
We got our guy. We good to go? Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. My man, how are you, good sir?
I'm good. You know what's going to happen, though, one day? There's going to be a kid that's going to go to a school, and you're like, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to get an NIL contract.
Mm-hmm.
For maybe he could be pitching, cryptocurrency,
right?
Something,
mm-hmm.
and he makes like $5 million, and he cuts one commercial, and then what do you do then?
This is all about to happen. I mean, places that are set up to help these kids with their NIL to make a ton of money are going to have a distinct advantage. And some places will have the ability to do that in a way that most schools can't, just in terms of how long they've been around, the tradition, the amount of alumni, rich alumni at that, right, that are willing to cut a check for a guy to stand out in front of their car lot. This all stems, Lee, before you joined us, I was talking about, I find it suspicious, 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you at North Carolina. They've had an underachieving season. Zach Rice is the #1 rated offensive tackle in the country. He's recruited by Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and he's like, no, I'm going to go to North Carolina. Really?
Right.
Really? Okay. Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, my brother, let's do this thing. Oh, by the way, 10-day combo package, huh? All sports for only $100?
Yeah, so I get so many emails and calls, and people tell me all the time, hey, I love your stuff. I see you're like, I'll do some other podcasts and things like that and radio shows, and they'll be like, I'd love to join you. I just don't bet enough, or my financial situation doesn't allow it. So I'm like, okay, let me think of something to do where I can get everyone involved. And we've done like some combo packs for like 10 days, 2 or 3 sports for, like $297, $397. So I said, well, I have an idea. We have the Equinox now. We have all 5 sports going on, football, basketball, because doesn't start Halloween anymore. All these professional players, they don't want to play back-to-backers anymore, or very rarely. And then, you can get baseball playoffs, hockey, and UFC. 10 days, we text you the games. You're going to get them between like 2:30 and 3 o'clock Eastern time, and then on weekends 10:30, 11 in the morning. You get 75 to 80 plays for $100 bill. And
yeah, that's nicely done.
You're probably going to make money, even if you're a $20, $30 player. You're going to make back what you paid for it in 1 or 2 days. Then you got the next 8 or 9 days for your profit. So just one way to get it: ParamountSports.com.
Ole Miss, LSU. LSU shocked us to some extent, really everybody, with half a football team due to injuries and opt-outs, and then obviously an off-the-field situation. And they go out and beat Florida. It's a bad look for Dan Mullen. I don't feel like they're going to rise up here. I like Ole Miss minus 9.5. Do you disagree with me?
I'm going to take a different approach to this game. Do you think Ed Orgeron told his team before the game that he was out?
I think so, yes. And I think I think they were aware of that. Yeah.
They came out, like a house of fire. And Florida should have been the team. I mean, Florida, I gave that to my clients. I'm thinking, Florida's going to come to play. They lost as a 23-point favorite last year. The whole shoe throwing game, and they had nothing. They were dead in the water. So they didn't even have a game plan. So just underwhelming performance by Florida. So I think there's no way that LSU is going to play like that. So we saw their A game last week. Let's say we see their B minus C plus game on offense. Then you got Ole Miss. Quarterback Matt Corral's listed as doubtful, but he's taking the snaps during practice. He's probably 80%. I think you're going to see LSU, which always plays a slow game. There were some crazy touchdowns that were scored last week. I don't think you're going to see that craziness, and they're like bottom 15, 20% as far as pace of game. They'll probably get off 55 to 65 snaps while LSU. Ole Miss, I think they're not going to hurry it up like they normally do. I think they're going to take their time because their quarterback probably can't just run up to the line as quick as he used to. I think this game goes under. So both teams participating in over, so under 76.5. I think it's a smart move in this game.
Oh, that's nice. NC State minus 3 against Miami. Okay, I need you to clarify this. I don't understand the line. I think NC State wins by 3 touchdowns. Nobody agrees with me. I've seen the Bear. I've seen all these other guys taking Miami. What am I missing?
Sometimes college football is the craziest thing. So Miami was off for a week. They had a bye week. You would think game planning, and after getting shellacked, embarrassed last year against North Carolina, they come out and play hard the first half. Nothing. It's like they were dead. North Carolina was the team fired up. They did show some heart in the second half. What was crazy? One of the worst calls. So they're sitting there. I think there's like 14 seconds left to go. Got the ball in like the 15-yard line. Right. You got to throw in the end zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's the only play there. So what do? They throw into the center of the field on a slant.
Yeah, it gets batted. Yep.
You can either get batted, or the safety or the cornerback can make a play on the ball, gets batted or intercepted. Sure enough, the lineman tips the ball up, interception. So one of the dumbest calls we've ever seen. And he was lucky, Manny Diaz, that it was a game. They gave up 31 points in the first half, and they missed a field goal in North Carolina. They should have scored 50 on them in the first half. And I think North Carolina kind of let off the gas. There was some poor play calling on their part in the second half. Give Miami a little bit of credit. They played hard in the second half, but they haven't covered a game at home in the last 6 games. There'll be about 20, 25,000 fans that'll kind of, just meander through the stadium, get food and refreshments and, just kind of be in their own little zone. It's a night game. It's a date night, something like that. Take the kids to the ball game. So I think that NC State. How about this? They only have really one big time player that's probably going to get drafted. Their left tackle in the top 3-4 rounds. They're just playing as a team. They took apart Boston College like it was just like a business meeting here. I like North Carolina State. I think they win the game 37-27.
Yeah, I like him. I like him to roll big. I don't see this game being that close. All right, so it's interesting. Pitt is a favorite over Clemson, which, it's just interesting to say out loud because of how dominant Clemson's been. But then you look, obviously, we all know Clemson's woes on offense at this point are not a fluke. I mean, this is every week they look dreadful offensively. Word on the street is that those players are not in love with DJ, the starting quarterback, who refuses to run the ball, I might add. So now all of a sudden you've got injury troubles on the at the wide receiver position for Clemson. I love the Clemson defense. Do you give the 3.5 if you're Pitt? What do you think about this game?
So the Clemson offensive line decimated with injuries, and they're not any good.
Right.
Then you've got the defensive line that has lost 2 of the top 3 defensive linemen for the year. So I'm looking at the receivers getting no separation. They're hurt. DJ's not what we thought, which is a little surprising. The only guy playing decent is Kobe Pace right now, the running back, and he can't do it alone. Pitt's offense, if they can get some semblance of a running game, Kenny Pickett could have a big game here. I mean, here's a guy, if they win this game, he looks good. 21 touchdowns, only 1 interception. They're going to talk about him. He's going to be in the top 3 in the Heisman mix.
Yeah, he's good.
And you talk about spread records. A lot of times it tells you what the team is all about and how they're playing. Tigers 0-6 against the spread this year. Make it 0-7. Tell you something, Brent Venables wishes he would have bailed last year. Trust me. I like Pitt, 31-20.
I wish he'd get the hell out of there. That'd be good. There's still time, Brent. Take it on down the road.
Yep.
Noles are huge favorites against the dreadful UMass team. Florida State seems to have found an identity. They're playing a lot better right now, and they're getting healthier. They come off the bye, but that's a big number, 35.5, depending on when you got it. What do you say?
Yeah. Well, UMass got to be happy. They got the win over UConn. UConn is terrible. UConn lost the fumble in that game through 2 interceptions, penalized left and right at key moments. So they're probably sitting and feeling pretty good about themselves right now. And then you look at UMass, they can't push the ball down the field. They got one decent running back, this kid Merriweather. He's decent, number 7. But other than that, they have no receivers that can scare you. Even their kicking game isn't very good. Their punting game, not good. I like Florida State. I think they win this game something like 47-10.
Yeah, you and me are on the same page. I had it 52-10 or 58-10, something like that. Yeah. So the Bucs are without Antonio Brown, without Rob Gronkowski, without Levante David. Obviously, Richard Sherman is out. There are some other injuries that they're worried about. They're beat to hell, but this is not a great Bears team. That's a big number, 13.5. What do you got?
Yeah, I think the Bears can hang in this game. So I think that you will probably see Tampa Bay score high 20s, low 30s, but you just think that, this young quarterback for Chicago, I think he's going to be really good. And he just needs to learn his progressions. A lot of time, once he sees the first guy's not open, he just takes off. So it's just a matter of time. I think Tampa Bay has bigger fish to fry. We've seen them be disinterested in a couple games, mainly the Philadelphia game. So I think they win this game like 27-17, but I'm going to take the points here. I'm going to take Chicago.
Game of the week, Atlanta and Miami. What a dreadful game. I will not be watching that football game at all, but I don't mind betting on dreadful football games. So how can folks get it if they want it?
Just call 800-400-9741. I found something in this game, so you don't have to watch it. Just bet it and just win it. Sometimes watching hockey or one of these UFC events where you don't know who the fighters are. So you can get the game 800-400-9741 if you want to participate and get that 10-day all access, all 5 sports, just $100. We text you the games each and every day. Like I said, should be a lot of fun here. ParamountSports.com.
Always appreciate it, brother. Enjoy the weekend.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Libations Friday. We go through the games there. It's a kind of a fun. His particular card. Now he caters the card a lot of times just to what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's not the actual.
It's not his.
play.
Yeah, it's not always his bets, but he'll take the games and go through the interesting ones and who he would take here. I figured that'd be his take on the Bucs game. By the way, I do think we'll sleepwalk through that game.
It's highly possible, especially given that Chicago can play stingy enough defense. They'll want to be there for that reason. We'll see. My hope is that next Friday when Lee comes on the program ahead of the Clemson game, it's the 29th of October. It's been years since we've had the Great Pumpkin Shootout. Please, Lee, if you're still listening or watching,
let's get that Great Pumpkin Shootout going, Lee.
We got to have the Great Pumpkin Shootout one more time.
But he has blessed us with Locktober several times.
That's right.
Already in October.
Well, and the calendar in 2 weeks is about to turn from not October to November. It's Locktober to Dovember. Get ready for it.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
You know when you have to make a hard choice, like between chocolate brownie fudge or lavender ice cream? Well, where it gets really tough is choosing an internet and wireless carrier. Like, do you choose fast gig speed internet or one that blocks malware? And then what about wireless? Do you choose unlimited with 5G or the most reliable network nationwide?
Or wireless that's number one in customer satisfaction? Well, with Xfinity, you don't have to choose because you can get all of that with Xfinity. It's internet and wireless so good, it keeps one-upping itself. Get Xfinity Internet and mobile together for $35 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Visit an Xfinity store to learn how our Switch Squad makes switching fast and easy. Requires paperless billing and auto pay. Ends 11/15/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares optimized pricing to top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Your local news now.
The Tallahassee Police Department says they are investigating a Tuesday night drive-by shooting that happened on Karen Lane. According to TPD, shots were fired in the 1900 block of Karen Lane around 11 p.m. Tuesday. Police believe 7 teenagers ranging in age from 14 to 17 were the target of the shooting. No injuries were reported. Investigators do not have a vehicle or suspect description at this time. Doctors at Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare say the COVID-19 pandemic continues to trend in the right direction. October welcomed a dramatic decrease in both COVID deaths and hospitalizations. Hospital administrators say there have been 39 COVID-related hospitalizations in October. That's down almost 80% since last month. This month, 13 people have died from the virus so far, down from 82 in September alone. Hospital staff say vaccinations, an increased number of people with natural immunity, and community efforts like hand washing and masking all contribute to this decline. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs level off around 84 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies tonight, lows around 59. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. Highs level off around 82. Mid-80s Sunday and Monday with a chance for scattered showers Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Hey, small business owner, love those hats you wear. CEO, CFO, chief cook, and bottle washer. But when it comes to marketing, you should really try Valpak on for size. We're your local marketing experts and lead Gen A team. Valpak's legendary blue envelope and red hot digital strategies connect you to thousands of local customers, online, on their device, and in their mailbox with real-time performance dashboards. Grow your business the smart way. We tip our hat to local businesses everywhere. Get started today at valpak.com/local.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Charlie Crist, he's running for governor. To mention the governor, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And we see it in presidential. We see it all the time. It's the new norm. Leave us on local. That it should be. It's like, hey, I'm running for this local seat.
Do you understand? I heard a statistic that like half of our population reads at like an 8th grade level.
And what is the other 2/3 rate at?
That means almost half does not. You're right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
School for the academics. If you're taking that into consideration, he's not going to North Carolina for the academics. We just got done documenting the in-depth academic fraud that they were guilty of. Non-classes, nonsense. That guy's going because they paid him to go there. Allegedly.
But that's now on the up and up. Yeah. That's the thing that we've got to figure out over the next 4 or 5 years is like anything else in life. You got to create goalposts. Like, we don't want to go too far one way, but when we try and balance the act, then there's also a point where you say, whoa, all right, we've corrected the course, but this is too far. What have we done?
The conversation that we're going to be having in the not too distant future that's already, it's the whispers about what Florida State has to do to compete with other NIL programs and opportunities needs to be ratcheted up. They were forward thinking about this.
Yeah, they put out a good video that one time.
And they had to but the problem is that you need your alumni, your donors, your boosters, the people that are going to help provide these opportunities with the NIL to pony up the money to give these kids the chance.
Yeah. You know what they're saying? Again?
Well, I mean, look, that's how this works. You've got to find a way to be competitive in that. That's the new way of recruiting. The Kentucky basketball player out here at a Porsche dealership, NIL deal. Well, that's tough to compete with, and I'm not seeing it. Who's doing that for us?
Let's go, Chris Kraft.
Let's go.
You know, Infinity's nice, but we got to go get the Porsche dealership now. Let's go.
Or just have an NIL deal with the Infinity dealership. That's fine. But, I mean, something.
Right. If you need to keep listening to the top of the hour of this here program to hear the giveaway of $1,000, then go ahead, and get your $1,000, and then let's throw it over that way. NIL. NIL.
Yeah. So we need this stuff to kind of get worked out. It will in time, but we worry about some of the commitments, not just the players. I'm talking about my fellow Noles.
Oh, you're going to call out the boosters? All right.
There are behind the scene conversations that are disconcerting right now about, and I get it stinks when you've been bad. So it's that fine line of, okay, well, what am I supporting here? Well, the only way you get better is to get better players. So
open up your checkbook.
So
You too, sir.
Sure. But I mean, you and I don't have the kind of money that I'm talking about.
Every little bit helps. Takes care of an electric bill. Sometimes a phone bill.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm glad Lee agreed with me on this Miami game. I just don't see it, which means I'm going to lose it.
Oh, that Miami's going to win by 17 points.
Well, I mean, I got NC State winning the game comfortably. He even had it closer than I have it. I don't see it. This feels like a Wolfpack blowout.
I don't disagree with you. So unfortunately, that's not good radio, but I don't disagree with you. I don't think the Mississippi State performance is going to happen again in Miami. And I don't know that Miami's game to play.
Boom. It's twofold. I mean, it's twofold. I don't think Miami's going to be game to play either. I think
State's goals are in front of it for the ACC to get to the ACC championship game. They got big games with Wake and Clemson still on the docket because I haven't seen them play head to head yet, so they have to by definition.
Which game? NC State?
They haven't played Wake yet. Wake's undefeated.
Right. They haven't played Wake yet,
and they haven't played Clemson.
Yeah, they beat Clemson.
Oh, that's right. They did beat Clemson.
Yeah, they beat Clemson.
God, Clemson is so forgettable. Isn't that amazing? I don't remember that game. And it was 27-21. I know the score. Yeah. I know that it went to overtime. And Clemson needed overtime to get to 21. I'm aware of all of these things. But that's a forgettable team this year. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it's really cool that they're that forgettable. Their offense is not only forgettable, it's ugly. It's hard to look at. Now, I say that, but if DJ would run the ball, they become a much bigger problem. He just refuses to do it. It's funny. If you want to go look on Clemson, because I do this from time to time, just try to further educate, like, how is this going down this path? On the one hand, you can watch game film or you can watch them play, and you can say, they don't seem to have this. The interior of the offensive line is bad. You can say all those things. But, obviously we don't watch every play, every snap of every quarter of every game they play, but their fans do, of course. So you go over to their boards and listen to them. Oh, they want everybody fired. I mean, they want that entire offensive staff fired. But in particular, they're turning on DJ as well. They're like, okay, so nobody told me that this guy would refuse to run. Like, they're getting mad about the fact that he will not run.
This is spicy. I like that.
It cracks me up. It started with a whisper like 3 weeks ago. They're like, so the kid's just not going to run when he's got 25 yards of open field in front of him. That's what we're doing here? Like those kind of comments. Then it got louder. And then after the last game, they're like, oh, so not only is he not going to run, he's soft, is he? And then they're accusatory. Now it's getting ugly.
This is how you stir the pot. This is how that pot gets stirred into the stew of discontent.
I love it. I'm like, oh, it's getting ugly. They're turning on their own.
You remember the stew of discontent?
Oh, I absolutely remember the stew of discontent. Yes.
You're the first one to cook it.
I was. And you cracked up when I said it. I remember you're like, I like this.
So much so that
you kept it.
7 years later, I pulled it back for this discussion right here.
I love the fact that they're turning on each other. Somebody said, somebody posted there, where has our offense gone And the next post was to the University of South Florida. The guy that was holding Tony Elliott up left us. Oh, I was like, yes.
Did you see them compete with BYU on the road?
I was laughing so hard. I was like, there it is. Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was absolutely me during that. I was sitting back reading that. I was like, oh, it's happening. I've seen this before. We've been victimized before. Now it's happening to them. I knew the day would come.
Well, let's just keep that train rolling. Don't let it stop.
Yeah, I want to be the Antonio Banderas GIF. I do. I want to continue to click over there and be like, ooh, it's happening again. Let them lose to Pitt this weekend soundly. See what happens. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Widden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
This is an insurance market alert from Barbara at Faircloth Insurance in Tallahassee. A few months ago, I asked you to contact your legislators to help stop the skyrocketing property insurance rates in Florida. Other states average 2 lawsuits per day on property insurance claims. Florida has 384 per day. The property owners of Florida are being taken advantage of, but it is not by the insurance companies. The companies are paying out 10 times the cost of a claim or more that would have been paid anyway. People are canvassing neighborhoods, knocking on doors, suggesting that the property owner may have some damage. The property owner innocently signs something that turns all control of any claim settlement to an attorney that becomes the person designated to get the claim check and who controls the disbursement of the claim payment. If we want these rates to go down, we must reach out to our legislators and let them know how unaffordable home insurance has become and that we want them to support reform that will fix the issues. This has been an insurance market alert from Barbara at Faircloth Insurance in Tallahassee.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 Berry Books to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's time to win some cash. And here's this hour's keyword.
Bank. B-A-N-K. Bank.
Click on the Real Talk Money Megaphone at realtalk93.com to enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT. Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
The Supreme Court is not immediately blocking the Texas law that bans most abortions, but has agreed to hear arguments in the case next month.
The justices say they'll decide whether the federal government has the right to sue over the law. Answering that question will help determine whether the law should be blocked while legal challenges continue. Arguments are set for November 1st. The court's action leaves in place for the time being the law, which has been in effect since September. It bans abortions once cardiac activity is detected, usually in around 6 weeks.
Correspondent Jeremy House reporting the Justice Department filed suit over the law after the Supreme Court rejected an earlier effort by abortion providers to put the measure on hold temporarily. Also at townhall.com, China says there is no room for compromise or concession over the issue of Taiwan. That follows a comment by President Biden that the U.S. is committed to defending the island if it's attacked. A Chinese official reasserted China's long-standing claim that the island is its territory. Asked whether the U.S. would defend Taiwan if the island were attacked by China, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he would not discuss hypothetical situations. Despite falling numbers, President Biden will stump again for Democratic candidate in Virginia's governor's race.
Earlier this month, Democrat Terry McAuliffe said Joe Biden is unpopular in Virginia, but that's not stopping him from inviting the president to join him on the campaign trail again next week. McAuliffe is locked in a dead heat with Republican candidate Glenn Youngkin, and Democrats are worried about losing. McAuliffe's campaign says the president will join McAuliffe on Tuesday in Virginia's D.C. suburbs, a week before Election Day. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Stocks are mixed. Now, the Dow ahead 54 points, but the NASDAQ is down 147. More at townhall.com.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Outstanding. Great coverage there. Appreciate you doing that as well. Stay with us. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Tom, you had the unenviable task, I do believe, I just noted this, of assessing Florida State UMass for a fantasy perspective.
Yeah.
That's a toughie.
I tried overs, unders on some totals. I mean, it could go any which way. And what's frustrating, and I put this in the opening graph or 2 of the article, is I'm undefeated so far in this particular feature, sir. And we get the bye week when I'm on a heater. Don't like that. Then the next week you play UMass when who knows what the hell is going to happen. You have fewer props to go over because UMass doesn't have any players that the scouting services would put out there. It's a little bit difficult to forecast.
Okay, so I'm going to do this without having. Now, I'm going to admit to you that I did not read the fantasy FSU UMass article.
I wouldn't expect you to. Yeah.
No, I didn't. That's not a derogatory comment. I'm not engaging in the actual act of betting or doing fantasy football for this game, so it didn't matter to me. But I now see what you're doing here with the game props.
Yeah, they're over-unders. This particular site that we use does over-unders. They may be sponsoring us soon. We'll see. But they do overs and unders. Now, I like doing those because it really helps you go through the exercise of telling the story of the game, as we often like to say.
Well, let's tell the story of the game right off the bat without even seeing what you picked. I see the first one up, and I didn't scroll down because I don't want to be sullied. I see that you have Jordan Travis over under 207.5 passing yards. And my knee-jerk reaction to that, and you did more delving into it, is for me, I would take under 207 passing yards.
We are in agreement on that one. He's only gone over that number one time in his career. It was last year against Jacksonville State, the game we won against Jacksonville State, mind you. And the other thing is, if we hit on a couple of passes early, shot plays as we like to do, that means things are going well. You're up quick.
Means he gets out of there.
And you probably get some work for somebody else.
Hey, let's see some Chuba Purdy, damn it. I mean, This should be that game.
Now, the argument you make for the over would be, and it's not about the game score. Let's just say that Florida State is doing some good things. You know what I'm saying? As Jimbo once said.
Yeah.
They want to stay away from putting Jordan in any harm with the read option.
So you're not running him as much.
So you're throwing the ball more. But we got in trouble with that with Jacksonville State. So this is the balance you have to play. I think the safer play is play the under.
Yeah, I do too. I now see the game prop, Jashaun Corbin, 92.5 rushing yards. I'm going to go under there too. What did you do?
We are in agreement. I also went under. I think this is a game where you open up the stable of backs a little bit more.
Correct.
We've heard a lot about Lawrence Toafili this week from Coach in his public availabilities. Who knows? The every once in a while guy and DJ Williams might see the field more. If this game goes the way that it should go,
yeah, you play all those other guys.
To define the line of scrimmage, you got to keep your players fresh. And Corbin hasn't hit over 90 whatever yards. What was it, 92.5? He hasn't hit that since the Louisville game. Typically, he's on a pitch count of 11 to 15 carries, too, as it is. The problem is he could go 1 for 80, and then you're in real trouble if he comes out for drive 2 and 3.
He may very well, but I'll take my chances, and I think they get him out of there early. They don't want him taking hits before the Clemson game because he's going to have to be a boss going into that game. So, all right, game prop you have written on Pokey Wilson, over under 46.5 receiving yards. I'm flying over with this one, Tom, in the first half.
All right, we're in agreement on this.
Okay,
three for three.
Good.
If we run our offense even a little bit, that's going to create those shot plays. Pokey has 3 touchdowns this season. But this is the whole article. But please, folks, every Friday, head to warchant.com for the Sporting Noles feature. We're 8-0 so far this season. This is a minefield against UMass. But Pokey Wilson has 3 touchdowns this season. All of them have come from Jordan Travis. One was a shot play that went for 30 yards. Or it could have gone for 90.
Yep.
The other one was 60-plus yards on the road at Wake Forest. Yeah. I mean, if he has 5 catches in this game, he's going to fly over the number. 1 catch might do it. So we'll see.
Ryan writes in, I want to see 3/4 of Rod Orr is where this game needs to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lloyd Willis too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, that's where that game needs to be. Take care of business early. Lock it in. Get ready to roll, man. I do think it feels like that's going to happen. I feel like from what I've heard, what we know of practices, and where this team's at in terms of understanding what they are, calling plays to that, having an identity, and then also coming off a bye week and getting healthier. I think they'll be ready to play, and I think they'll take care of their responsibilities, and they'll get out to a big lead pretty quickly, and you get a lot of rest for guys.
But that's what's interesting is we take the game in. We talk about it on Monday. I'll do the post-game show tomorrow on Warchant TV. That'll be 10 to 15 minutes after the UMass game concludes. there'll be that second level of talking points. Should the game go the way that we need it to go, the way that if we're professional and mature about ourselves tomorrow, it's going to go, which is, okay, when they got out, our starters, who do we like in the second wave? This used to be mandatory Florida State
it
topic.
was the best part about going to games back in the 90s, man, watching in the wave of young players that are going to obviously be the stars of tomorrow.
He may steal some snaps this year. Remember all those talking points? I remember watching Telvin Smith the first time, and he was a special teamer to begin. You're like, man, that dude is so fast. Oh, I hope he has linebacker instincts. And the answer was yes, he had plenty of linebacker instincts.
Is there a game outside of ours that you are most excited to see? Is the answer to that Pitt Clemson, or what is that? What is the game that you are most interested in seeing? I'm looking at this slate. Look, I get that it's a good matchup, but you kind of have to a little bit drag me kicking and screaming to Iowa State, Oklahoma State. I mean,
I'm interested to watch it. My brother-in-law is coming in town, and he's a secondary team is USC because he comes from
California?
Newport Beach. Newport Beach. I was trying to think.
Nice place to come from.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So he's a big USC guy as his number 2 team. So it's almost like a car wreck that I want to watch, that Notre Dame USC game.
Yeah.
I'm also really interested, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, so we don't have to go deeper into it, but I'm really interested in NC State Miami because I want to know what is everybody else seeing that I don't.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it just because it doesn't feel like we're seeing something that we should be with that number being as low as it is. Admittedly, I would, and I will, at least the second half by the time I get home, UCLA and Oregon interest me. It should be a good game. It should be a good game. So this is a wide open year in college football where all these games, even the ones that certainly don't involve teams that are going to, play in the college football playoff, matter because it's wide open right now. I mean, just last week, obviously the number 2 team in the land did what we suspected they would eventually do, which is just to lose a game that Iowa typically loses, just out of nowhere. Some middling team beats them, and you're like, yep, thought that would happen, and it did. They're bad at quarterback is their problem.
What part of the Alabama game did you play? I know what you put on the card for Redemption Thursday yesterday. In your actual card, did you play the total, or did you play, meaning the full game, or you play first half?
I played first half.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, I played first half. I think Alabama is going to roll big there. That really is about a couple of things. Where it sits in the schedule and what's happened to Tennessee from a health standpoint. And then also the fact that Alabama got the wake-up call that they did. They are looking buttoned up since then. The attention has been gotten, at that point. And so, listen, the bottom line is Alabama's got to win out to play Georgia in the SEC championship game and hope to get that win and fight your way into the college football playoff despite that loss. And they could very well do that. And they're getting good play on offense for sure. More and more, they're getting consistent play at receiver. It's not really that you worry about. It was the defense before, but Anderson's playing so well right now for them. It's kind of a fun team to watch. I loathe Alabama because of, the obvious reasons. But I do think they're kind of on a mission here, and I think Tennessee's beat up, so this could get ugly. Really ugly.
Any other games in hashtag GoACC that you're interested in? Wake Forest Army? Does that pique your interest? That's a noon kick with us.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see a short game, probably that one.
BC, Louisville?
Nope.
No, it doesn't teach you anything about BC?
Nope.
We kind of know what BC is at this point.
I think so. I think I know what they are, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the NC State-Miami game is dual purpose. It's number 1, 2 future opponents coming up soon on the schedule. So it's an opponent scout because now De'Aaron King's not playing for them anymore, so you see what Van Dyke can do for Miami at quarterback. And then you look at the lines of scrimmage for NC State. Are they truly as dominant as the advanced metrics would suggest that they are, relative to ACC competition, of course?
Yeah, I want to see what Kenny Pickett does against Clemson's defense. This is the main game in the ACC, not named us. I want to see, because they are still really nasty, Clemson's defense is. So what happens? What do we get in this game? Now, of course, Tom, as we all know, every Saturday and every game has the possibility of being very interesting if you'd like it to be. I'll give you a perfect example of that, maybe even an extreme example of that. I'm curious, noon kickoff, Oklahoma, Kansas, Tom. Very, very interested in that
I forgot
game.
about that game.
As you might guess, I'm interested in that game.
Because it's forgettable.
39 points that I'm giving up in that game. So, there's that. This is pretty... this is the craziest. The only time that I've ever said that I feel very comfortable laying 39 points is this weekend.
Ever?
I mean,
2013 Florida State?
No, I mean, 39 is a lot to give up. 39. You're waiting to get backdoored.
Could almost cover that against NC State in the first quarter back in 13.
You could. But I don't remember being maybe a non-Florida State team. This is the most comfortable I've ever been. So think about this. Kansas is the 128th pass efficiency defense in the country. And it's really, really, I mean, every aspect of what that is ugly. And you've got Caleb Williams starting to feel very good about what he is in that Oklahoma offense. That 39 could be covered in the first half. You just have to buckle up for a second half.
So did you play him first half instead?
No, I just played the 39 because of the consistency with which I've won that bet. I just decided don't buck the trend. I know why you think that, and it would be smart to do that. And I could hedge by doing something like that, but I ended up saying, all right, I bet against Kansas every week of the season.
Right, stay the course.
Just stay the course until they get to a number that you can't justify.
Right.
Oh, I got to get 58 this week. I don't think I'm going to get 58 this week. Like if something like that happens, then I'll probably go away. But I mean, 39, that wasn't too rich. It is the old game. Would you do that for $1,000? How about $999? Yeah, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing right now. I want to see what it is the next time. If Oklahoma wins 70-10, what do you think Vegas makes that number, against anybody else from the rest? Kansas is just the gift that keeps on giving. It's beautiful. All right. Hopefully I continue to dominate Mom with the picks. That'll be coming up relatively soon. We got a little time yet. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
Hey guys, it's Greg Tish here. If you know me, you know how much I love to grill, smoke, and cook outside. With the holidays just right around the corner and the cooler weather, there's nothing better than a backyard fire pit or a custom outdoor kitchen. But where do you start? Well, you start at Hearth and Patio of Tallahassee. They have everything for gas grilling, charcoal, standalone grills, built-ins, custom kitchens, unique high-end fire pits, and you can even build your own pizza oven. And don't forget about maintaining your indoor fireplace. If it hasn't been used in a while, it's a good idea to have Hearth and Patio come take a look at it to make sure it's safe to use. Or you can replace the whole thing and transform the look and style of your room. If it has anything to do with fire, you need to call Hearth and Patio. Write this number down. It's 727-4282. That's 727-4282. Or you can always check out their website to view all their products and services at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
If you're an attorney who struggles with the balance of managing your practice and practicing law, consider Lexicon as your #1 pick. From client intake to billing and all that comes in between, Lexicon doesn't miss a thing. Our comprehensive solution combines best-in-class software and services to take care of your firm's most critical challenges, automating many of the tasks that take time out of your day. It's all about giving you more of your billable hours back. And who doesn't love more revenue? No more searching for practice management that works. Lexicon marks the spot. Visit lexiconservices.com to learn what Lexicon can do for you.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then he showed me the 2.7 points that Evans had, 2 catches, 4 attempts against the Eagles. He's like, that hurts your feelings, right? Oh, that makes me laugh. Yeah, it's funny how angry you can get and how personally angry you can get at certain players, and even realizing that you're being a fool.
He can evoke that. The one thing that always annoyed me about Mike, and he's a really good player, so we're nitpicking a career that is built for Canton if it continues for another few years.
Sure.
When he hits the ground harder than anybody I've ever seen in my life. Like the impact when body meets grass always requires him to come up and leave for a play. I'm like, God, learn how to fall, man.
Yeah, you're an athlete.
It's like watching a quarterback who doesn't know how to slide. I'm like, you got to go somewhere out to a field one day. You got to hire a couple of baseball players. They'll teach you. It'll take 10 minutes. You're athletic enough. You can do it. These guys that can't slide a quarterback drive me nuts. And Mike, man, when he hits the ground, it's like, bam. I'm like, dude, this ain't concrete.
Yeah, you're going to hurt
You make it look like concrete.
Yeah. I also had somebody bring up that yesterday on the show, I said that it seems like certainly there are whispers. Maybe there's smoke. I don't know if the fire's there, but that Miami is kicking the tires at the idea of bringing in Deshaun Watson. And a friend of ours said, am I wrong to think that you'd be giving up on Tua way too fast here? Even if Watson is cleared and available for the 2022 season, he hasn't even played a full schedule talking about Tua. Would you give up on him already? And I was inclined to say that I would lean in that direction so long as the off-the-field stuff gets taken care of with Deshaun Watson. If you're asking me about the two, I'm taking Deshaun. Proven product. As far as what Tua will be moving forward, his point was, he's like, man, I think he has the arm strength, enough arm and athleticism. I think what gets lost here is the athleticism isn't what it was at Alabama. That hip injury did some real damage. He looks ordinary when he breaks the pocket.
Yeah, wasn't he cloak and dagger about that before he was drafted too? Like the disclosure of the imaging and having the NFL doctors take a look at him. He said, no, only my doctor. Something like that was happening. I remember where if it wasn't a COVID year, he would have been poked and prodded as these players are at the combine very, very closely. Then you've got the history of last year where clearly Ryan Fitzpatrick should have been quarterback down the stretch, and they played Tua anyway to the point where it was kind of a joke before the game started.
That didn't help him in the court of public opinion because the Dolphins had an outside chance to make the playoffs, and then you're playing him, and he's a check down Charlie, and you're like, ugh, yeah.
And then this year, what I'm saying is they've got enough information behind the scenes where they're like, we got to sell high on this dude, and this is as high as his stock is going to be. So let's make a splash now. I don't think they're making an uninformed choice.
If that's the choice they make, we don't know.
They're not refuting that these talks are happening, though, is my point. So,
well, we don't know what's going to happen legally with Deshaun Watson, but if you can get him, yeah, I'd go ahead and do that.
If you can get an eligible Deshaun Watson,
yes. Yeah. If I know that I'm going to get Deshaun Watson, he's able to play, and there's no chance he's going to the pokey. He's not heading off to the big house.
And you're not talking about Ontario Wilson's house.
No, man, I'm doing it. The other night, and I didn't mention this on yesterday's show, this is so cool, and I did talk about it in the first hour really quick because we're going to cut out here so we make room for Mom to get in here and we'll get our wagers in. But Devin Vassell scored 19 points. You see he was 8 of 12. He had 19 points, 2 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals in 25 minutes off the bench.
Okay. All right. That's highly efficient. We
There
like
you go,
that.
Devin. Scotty Barnes scored 12 points, 9 boards, an assist, a steal in 33 minutes as a starter against the Raptors and a home loss to the Washington Wizards. Did you know that?
I had no idea. Now, I know Scotty has been lighting it up in the preseason. I remember seeing some highlights of coast-to-coast plays and rejections, dunks, things like that.
He's also turning the ball over too much. He turned it over 6 times in that game. So I can't.
He's still a teenager, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or is he 20?
Well,
Barely?
Yeah, he's young. Malik Beasley, good to see he's back. I'd like him to get right whatever's wrong with him. The off-field stuff off the court stuff has been troubling, but he had 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting, had a board, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 block shots, 21 minutes off the bench in Minnesota's win against Houston. Patrick Williams returning now from that preseason ankle injury. He did struggle, but 6 points and a board in 28 minutes for Chicago. And Trent Forrest did not play in Utah's game against OKC. So, all right. Everywhere we look, I brought up Terrence Mann. Everywhere I look, man, I'm like, there's a Nole, there's a Nole, there's a Nole. Really cool. Never in my lifetime of covering Florida State and before did I see this many NBA guys just, flipping around the dial.
We may have a couple more on the roster this year.
I know. It's just cool. We got so used to it in football, like any given weekend, you could flip around, like, well, there's an all big ones, like really talented guys, like superstars, even in the NFL. Couldn't do that. I mean, you did have Sam Cassell and Bob Sir in the NBA at the same time, and you're like, oh, that's cool. But this many guys, and we're just churning them out left and right, does the heart good to flip around.
Get Down or Lay Down wants to know it already. I guess we're going to have to consider and learn a little bit more during exhibition season. But he's asking you over under 20.5 wins this season.
So I am.
Got to define your terms too. Regular season, tournaments included. He's probably talking about regular season would be my guess.
I'm not gonna make that prediction just yet. Get down or lay down. I'm going to. I'm scheduled to meet up with Coach Ham and the guys next week, so I will have a better sense when I get it from the coach's mouth. Ham's a straight shooter. He'll tell you like, oh, early we're going to struggle. We've got some guys we're going to try to work with here, but it's going to take some time. Other times he's emboldened. He'll say, listen, I like us from Jump Street. I feel good about what we are, but I need to know. I need to know that. I need to hear from the man himself.
Corner of Jump Street and Junkyard Dog Lane.
All right, Mama, come get your whooping. That's next. Chef Cameron Show 93.3. Oh, before I go to break, let me remind everybody. Today, happy hour is happening at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Myself, Corey Clark, Warchant happy hour show we do every Friday for home weekends, I should say, at Corner Pocket. So we'll be there. Looking forward to it very much so. And it's kind of really the official start to the weekend. So if you're in town, you want to swing on by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, we will be there live at 5 o'clock.
There are a couple of similar sounding bars in town to Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. That's 2475 Appalachia Parkway. It's the one on the Parkway, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Make sure that's the one you go to. Otherwise, you'll say, where is everybody?
Yep. We're going to be there. Myself, Corey Clark. I'm going to have ourselves a tall, cold beer. Get this weekend started right. They've also got really good food there. So if you're hungry, don't think that, oh, well, I can't go to Corner Pocket. No,
right,
they got great
That's
food.
just bar food. No, it's not.
No, really good.
No, it's not. I dare you.
Yeah, it's really good food. All right, Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Listen up, everybody. We've told you a bunch about the greatness that is Xfinity's in-home internet quality, the greatness that is Xfinity's hotspots, internet hotspots throughout Tallahassee and throughout the country. But now they've got a flash sale this weekend. If you want to combine the best internet service in the country with the most inexpensive and customer-friendly mobile service in the country, Xfinity has you covered. Listen to these awesome details about this weekend's sale. Starting today for 3 days only, get $300 off select phones. Plus, get an extra $100 back with qualifying trade-in only when you visit your local Xfinity store. Offer ends this Sunday, 10/24. At your local Xfinity store, the Switch Squad makes switching to Xfinity Mobile fast and easy. They will help you find the best data options while saving you up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Visit us in store today or go to xfinitystores.com to book an appointment at a time most convenient for you. Compares pricing to top carriers. Xfinity Internet required. Offer ends 10/24/21. Requires purchase of a new phone with qualifying trade-in. Other restrictions apply.
Your local news now.
One man is injured after a shooting on Corvallis Avenue Thursday afternoon. The shooting happened just before 1 p.m. The man who was shot suffered from non-life-threatening injuries, and he was taken to a local hospital for treatment. This is an open and active investigation. Updates will be provided as more information becomes available. Detectives ask anyone who may have witnessed the shooting to call 850-891-4200 or to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. Governor Ron DeSantis announced Thursday morning that he plans to call the legislature into a special session to combat vaccine mandates. Currently, there are no dates or details regarding any proposed call. DeSantis said, "We have got to stand up for people's jobs and their livelihoods. What we are going to be doing, in addition to mounting aggressive legal challenges to federal mandates, we are also going to be taking legislative action to add protections for people in the state of Florida." This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs level off around 84 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies tonight, lows around 59. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. Highs level off around 82. Mid-80s Sunday and Monday with a chance for scattered showers Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 83.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be. A boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Charlie Crist, he's running for governor. To mention the governor, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And we see it in presidential. We see it all the time. It's the new norm. We even saw it in local that it should be. It's like, hey, I'm running for this local
Do
seat.
you understand? I heard a statistic that like half of our population reads at like an 8th grade level.
And what is the other 2/3
Half
rate?
doesn't. That means almost half does not. You're right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3.
Being alive, yeah. But some things more than others. That's all I'm saying.
Boy, it's not 90 degrees out today.
Makes me want to have a beer.
It's time for a beer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's 105.
Gotta have to have a beer. And
I
cool
think
off.
I need a 5. Yeah, I need a nice little beer.
Oh man, it looks like I gotta run up to the hardware store. Gonna have to drink a beer. Oh man, let's see here. I think I how many games did we have different last week? 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did I win them both?
Nope.
Split.
You had Cincinnati over Detroit. And,
Good
pick. She played Arizona over Cleveland.
Yeah. I didn't realize how banged up Cleveland was. If I had known that...
realized within a quarter.
Yeah. And if I had known that, what's-his-face, at quarterback, Baker, had was damaged goods.
He had the shoulder shakes.
I wouldn't have done it. That's all right. Go ahead and cue it up. We'll bring Mom on here in a second.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Load
Meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
Hey, Mama, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I love my music. I just, every time I hear that song, makes me just excited. I love AC/DC.
I know you do. You always did. So, by the way, I was looking here. I'm going to need honesty out of you, and not that you have a history of not being honest with me, but I'm kind of curious. Who did you take last night? I did take Cleveland begrudgingly, but did you?
I know. And listen, let me tell you something. I did too, but I didn't even know the game was on, and I also didn't know that Baker Mayfield was so banged up. I knew he had a hurt shoulder, but I don't know that I would have picked him if I had realized that. I think I might have picked who were, I don't even know who were they playing?
Denver.
Yeah. But anyway, I did take Cleveland.
I did too. So we're on the same page there, and we eked out a 17-14 win.
We did eke out it. Case Keenum, who would have thought? I'm telling you.
So that's 4. Am I still up 4 then? Yeah, that's what I am.
We split last week, so I think you were up 4. So we stayed the same.
Your hunch on Detroit was a little off, Mom.
I know, but I really did think that was good logic. But I tell you, they were terrible. I mean, it wasn't even close. So I do still want them to win a game, though. I still really.
Oh, they'll win it. No, they're competitive. They'll win a game.
I hope so.
By the way, just don't look now, everybody. But Cincinnati's 4-2, and Joe Burrow's really good, and Chase is really good. Like that. That's kind of a squad. Mixon's good. I mean, they're a kind of a good team. It's a fun team to watch. All right, here we go, Mom. Okay. Panthers at Giants. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a terrible game. I took Carolina.
Begrudgingly, I will too. I don't know. They could lose. I don't think they're any good at all. But
there's several games like that this week when I'm looking at them. I'm like, well, you start overthinking it. So anyway, I was like, oh, what the heck? Here's what I'm doing.
Jets at the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots.
Chiefs at the Titans.
Chiefs at the Titans. This game really, really concerns me. I love Derrick Henry. He might be, besides my Bucs players, my most favorite player in the NFL.
Well, he's a badass.
Oh, my God. I love him so much. And you know what I love about him is he just runs over people and then just gets in the end zone, and then he doesn't get up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. He just puts the ball down and walks back to the huddle.
Well, I don't care about that. I like that he just embarrasses and humiliates people calmly is what I think you're saying. It's just it's ruthless. It's so
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just like get you some. Yeah.
I just love him. But anyway, back to the game. I don't know whether to pick Derrick Henry or to pick Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's what it is. But I took Kansas City. I just feel like Patrick is going to have a really good game, and I don't know if Derrick can do it all.
I'm going to take the Titans.
I kind of thought you might.
Yeah, I think Derrick will run down the throat of the Kansas City Chiefs. And until this defense can get fixed, I have a hard time picking the Chiefs in games against relatively competitive teams. Listen, Patrick Mahomes can beat any team in the league on a given Sunday. He's that kind of special, and he's got weapons galore. So you never know. They could win a game 41-38, something like that. But I do feel like that the Titans are going to play keep away. They're going to run the ball, and I don't know that the Chiefs are equipped right now defensively to stop them from running the ball. I mean, the whole world knows that Derrick Henry is going to get the ball 30 times, but nobody seems to stop it.
I was going to say, it doesn't seem to matter. They do know he's going to get the ball. And that was my thinking. I mean, I went back and forth on this a bunch of times. And they're playing at Tennessee, I think.
They are, yes.
That also, I think, figures into it. But anyway, that may be a loss, but I've got my initial by Kansas City, so I'm sticking with it.
It feels like a toss-up game. Washington's at Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay.
The Falcons are at the Dolphins.
I'm taking Miami. I just poor Atlanta. They just, I don't know. I hope, and they're at Miami, so I took Miami.
I think I'm going to take the Falcons. I don't. These two teams are both garbage, but the Dolphins have just let me down to no end, and the Dolphins just got done losing to Jacksonville.
I don't usually pick them.
Yeah, I can't do it. They just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't. Give me the Falcons. All right, so we've got two different so far. Bengals at Ravens. Good game.
Yeah, I took Baltimore. I agree. Cincinnati is doing pretty well, but I just think Baltimore's a little too much.
Yeah, I agree. Lions at the Rams, not a competitive game.
No, I took the Rams.
Eagles at Raiders.
This game is another one that is concerning to me. I thought that the Raiders would lose last week, and they didn't. And so I don't know. Philadelphia is suspect, so I took Vegas.
Yeah, I took Vegas too. Philadelphia is suspect, as in they suck. The Texans at the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy pick. Bears and Bucs. Half our team is injured.
I know. This game does worry me, too. I tell you, I don't know if we're ever going to get healthy. Every week we have somebody else that goes down. It's just aggravating. And I don't know, did I hear you say or somebody say that I know Gronk's not going to play.
Antonio Brown's not going to play. Gronk's not going to play. Levante David's not going to play. We already knew Richard Sherman was out. We've got some other guys with injuries as well, but those are starters that are guaranteed not to play.
Yeah, but then there's somebody that came back, Anton Winfield.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he cleared concussion protocol. Did they say he's playing for sure? I don't know. He's cleared, but I don't know if he's going to play.
Okay, well, surely he will. They need him. They need every good body they have at this point. I took Tampa Bay. I think it may be close, but I think hopefully Tom will pull us through.
Yeah, I took Tampa Bay as well. Colts at 49ers.
Yeah, this game, I took the 49ers, but I think it could be close.
Oddly, I think it's kind of a compelling game. I took the 49ers too, but I wouldn't be surprised for this to come down to the wire in the fourth quarter. Saints are at the Seahawks on Monday Night Football.
I know. Now, I really thought, Seattle almost won that game last week with, what's his name, Geno, right?
Mm-hmm. Geno Smith, yeah.
And I don't know. New Orleans worries me because you never know for sure what Jameis is going to do. And that playing in Seattle is difficult. So I took Seattle. It may be my upset special of the week.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints, and we're going to have another game different there. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm emboldened to take the Saints. I can't bet on Geno Smith to win the game for the Seahawks. So I'll go with the Saints. And I think, is that 3? We got 3 different, Mama?
We do. We have the Tennessee-Kansas City game, Miami-Atlanta, and this New Orleans-Seattle game.
Feels like a sweep in favor of me.
No. I need to win at least 2 of them.
Not going to happen, Mom. You're going to be in a huge ditch. You're going to be...
I'm going to run off the road. No. I have confidence in at least one of my picks.
I love you, Mama. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, my goodness. I love you, too. I think you guys are going to have a runaway this weekend, hopefully.
That is correct. That'll be 3 straight wins. We're on a roll.
You're on a roll.
Yep. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. You guys have fun. I love you.
Love you, too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So there you go. I feel good about my picks on these ones. I think Mom's in trouble this weekend.
They look good. It's the NFL, though.
Correct.
The one thing about the Tennessee game is it's a short week for them. So that would be in my math.
Good call. I just could see them deciding to simplify, which is what I would do every week, and just say, look, as long as I have this elite battering ram, who, by the way, top end gets up to 22, 23 miles per hour. That is the scariest damn thing on earth.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's why I saw something this week, remarking on how safeties are just getting clowned and put on posters. And one of the responses was, if Derrick Henry's at full speed, if you get him on the ground, it doesn't matter if you look like you're a chalk outline.
You got him on the ground.
You got him on the ground. You should actually be proud of being on the poster if he fell after the snapshot was taken.
There's a few players in NFL history that I remember thinking, especially after I started playing football, like in pads, you start, having to tackle people. I remember looking back and before I played football, I would laugh at guys that got run over. After I played football, I'm like, man, it happens. Like
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. There's some dudes out there that can get low and are strong as hell. And it's just, what are you going to do? And Derrick Henry, so like Christian Okoye used to do that to people. We know Mike Allstott used to just, oh my God, obliterate people.
Yeah.
And it's not like Mike Allstott was slow. When he got to the second level, you had problems. And there have been other big backs. Barry Word, by the way, was an underrated big back who I used to love watching run football. But obviously, I'm old enough, Tom. You are not.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, he was with
Barry Word?
Yeah, he was with Kansas City. He was a good player.
W-O-R-D.
You go look him up.
That's cool.
Natron Means is a good runner.
Yeah, Natron Means.
Yeah, that's a great name, too, by the way. Yeah. Yep. So he was a stud. But I'm old enough to remember. I know. Here we go. Here's where I reveal it.
Y.A. Tittle.
No, but I saw the end of Larry Zonka's career.
He was Y.A. titillating to watch.
Yeah, I watched Larry Zonka, John Riggins.
You watched Larry Zonka.
I did.
I watched Larry Zonka on American Gladiators.
Yeah.
That's where I watched Larry
I saw
Zonka.
Larry Zonka, the end of Larry Zonka's career. I also saw, I mentioned Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. He was something to watch. But yeah, so anytime I would see guys get run over by, like we're talking about All-Star, if you're a safety,
yeah,
and you weigh back then 200 pounds and 250 gets past the second level, we got problems, man.
There are times that when we're going through things and watching games, you can't see that it's going to look ridiculous in the future. Like, for example, PGA Tour in the 90s, the polo shirts that come down to your wrists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, short sleeve polo shirts that come down to your wrists.
Right.
The baggy look.
Right.
At the time, I didn't know anything. Now you look back, you go, oh my God, Hal Sutton. Is that like a 6XL?
Yeah, what are you wearing?
And in those days, it was probably just a normal XL.
Yeah,
that was the cut.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought in the moment as I was growing up, watching Mike Allstott, is why does he have a beach umbrella for shoulder pads? Those things are the most ridiculous shoulder pads I've ever seen.
And he didn't need them because he was every bit of 250 pounds. I've told this story a lot over the years. It's Libations Friday. Tom knows this one. He laughs about it. It goes back a ways. I went up to Chicago with my buddy who's in town this weekend with his wife and beautiful kids. He's a lifelong Bears fan. Obviously, I'm a lifelong Bucs fan. We go up to Chicago in December. Brian Griese's the starting quarterback for the Bucs.
I remember this game.
It went to overtime. It was freezing cold, 19 degrees.
We had a super long touchdown in that game.
Yes, we did. It was 19 degrees, snow on the ground. I had always wanted to go to Soldier Field for a cold weather game. I'd been to Soldier Field, but never for a cold weather game. So when I saw the Bucs were playing in Chicago in December, I was like, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the one. And Christy went with me. We had I wore my Bucs leather jacket, got props from the Bears fan behind me, bought me a beer because I was man enough to fly from Florida and sit in the stands for a Bucs Bears game in the dead of winter.
One of 5 times you could use that jacket.
That's right. And I still have that jacket.
There you
Christy gets mad every year when we do the house cleaning. Why do we have this jacket? It's a jacket you'd wear in Alaska. Why do you have this jacket?
Right.
Because who else has a kick-ass leather Buccaneers jacket?
Yeah, to which you want to reply, are we talking about the garage now? Then?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Right. Yeah.
I can see how the dynamics of giving stuff away in your house. I got it down pat now.
Well, I don't ask anymore. I just give stuff away. And then I told you
that jacket's going to disappear. You better hide it. You better hide it. Retribution's a thing.
So I went to that game, had a blast. It was an awesome time. And we sit down. I did not, Preston. That's funny, by the way. Very well played it by you. I went down onto the sidelines. We didn't go onto the field. We were like right by there during warmups. We got there early. And Mike Allstott was standing on the side right where we were, and he was stretching. So this gets a little weird, but he stands up and he's got his helmet off and he's staring out at the field and we're behind him.
He's got the frosted tips.
And I said to Matt, that is the biggest, most muscly ass I have ever seen on a human being. His ass muscles, each cheek must have weighed 35 pounds. I mean, it was crazy. Each butt cheek. They're huge. I remember wanting just for experimentation to see if I could get my...
Whoa.
I wanted to see if I could physically get my arms around his ass cheeks to tackle him. Like, just to see... I remember thinking, I wonder if given the chance, could I even tackle him? He's the biggest, musclest ass you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. Given the skit that SNL this is from with Farley, I think that's an appropriate GIF for this story.
I couldn't believe it, and so it was funny because he was laughing. He's like, "Dude, I'm like seriously, look at! I can't stop staring at it. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. Who has an ass the size of Kentucky? It's unbelievable." And so I just, from that point forward, I always felt really bad for members of the secondary, corners, safeties. That dude comes through, linebacker gets sealed. It's coming downhill. you're 15 yards, 17 yards away from the ball, and your linebacker gets blocked.
Right.
And here comes that Mack truck.
And Captain America's shield is smaller than his shoulder pads. So you're just going to take a blunt force object.
And he got low, man. He could get low.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like,
he had to have the grip strength too, because he would balance himself with his pinky.
It was crazy.
He'd be falling, and he'd put like one finger down, and he'd stay up while he's falling. And the next thing you know, it's another 30 yards.
I would watch. I just remember thinking, well, what are you going to do with that? And so I no longer made fun of guys who, my hammy. Sniper got me.
Yeah. Or like Fournette when he was in college, the guy from Auburn who jumped over him. We were in Boston for that one.
Yeah, no bueno. He's like, I want no part.
The guy's like, wee!
Yeah, I want no part. I'm going to look like I'm trying really hard, but I want no part of this tackle.
I'm going to hurdle you.
Woo! I mean, that's a big man. What are you going to do? We'll come back, wrap it up momentarily.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. We've experienced a couple of blockbuster months recently. What does that mean to you? It means we have a whole lot of quality pre-owned vehicles. And just when there are rumors about high prices on pre-owned cars, you guessed it. At Kraft Nissan and Infinity, we are discounting every single pre-owned car, truck, and SUV on our lot. Instead of Dad dreaming of a new truck or SUV, why not bring him out to the Kraft Brothers lot on Mahan Drive to look at SUVs and trucks? Match what he wants. Kraft Pre-Owned has dozens of Toyotas, some Ford F-150s, and Ram 1500s. And of course, we have a big supply of Infiniti and Nissan vehicles. If we don't have what you're looking for, we will do our level best to find the car you want. Let other dealers charge you too much for pre-owned cars. Kraft Nissan and Infiniti are saying right now is the best time of the year to save on a quality pre-owned vehicle. Kraft Nissan and Infiniti of Tallahassee on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if the car you are looking for doesn't have the Kraft tag on it, you'll pay too much, way too much.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400, or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com.
offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. Cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
All right, Nathan Evaldi. We'll need you. I need you to handle your business. Evaldi, by the way, I'm always reminded of this. Two things about Nathan Evaldi. He was both a Florida Marlin, Miami Marlin now, and Tampa Bay Ray. Both teams could use Nathan Evaldi.
Yeah, and he was good for Tampa.
He was really good. For like a minute. They should have probably held on to him. Anyhow, he's got the task tonight to keep Boston alive and get a win here at Minute Maid Park in Houston, where Luis Garcia will be his opponent on the bump for the Astros, who lead the series 3-2. The cheaters that are the Astros could be off to the World Series yet again. Nobody needs that. Come on, guys. And then, just because I know we'll all be nervous, tomorrow, Max Scherzer, kind of feel like he'll show up.
Mm-hmm. He knows that ballpark.
Yes, he is on his way, along with the Dodgers, to Atlanta. Truist Park. Let's go, Truist. Get loud, get right. Ian Anderson, I need you. Or else we're going to Game 7, and I can feel it. I can feel Braves fans going, oh, man.
We want to hear you from the Omni in deep right field.
And that is a look at those that showers out of the bump. Yeah, that is that's something. Don't lose Game 6, Atlanta. Just go ahead and do what you got to do here. No pussyfooting. None of that nonsense. You get it together. Close it out.
How about half-stepping?
No half-stepping, no pussyfooting. No beating around the bush. Let's go make it happen.
There you go. That's a good addition. I like that one. That's a good one.
Make it happen. I can't believe the Braves have somehow got me into a place where I'm nervous for them. Where I'm like, come on, let's get it together.
Yeah, that's odd. There's been an attachment. You guys are going to do an Atlanta Braves talk show for an hour at the CP later.
That's not true. I will gauge Corey's mood. He's a fatalist. He's a fatalist. So he's already believing that they've lost the season.
It's over.
Yeah.
That's quote unquote.
And it's gone. Yeah, that's him right now in terms of hope. That's his feeling, I'm sure. But I don't feel that way. Let's go ahead and knock it out. Let's get it done. Let's get that win. Let's move it on, Big River. In addition to the college football slate being the NFL slate this weekend.
Yeah, you've got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Tennessee.
Kansas City, Tennessee.
That's it.
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean we won't see some compelling games, but I mean, there are some games on this schedule this weekend where you're like, ooh, that's not a good look. NFL, Jets, Patriots, Falcons, Dolphins, Lions, Rams.
We got to kick the YouTubers down the hill in just a second here because we got to play the song on Friday. But our pal from Buffalo, Tom, is asking a question. He's asked us a few times now about the tight ends.
We've got way too many of them, Tom. I agree with you. I know why. Mike's offense, he really, really values tight ends. But here's where I'm going to agree with you, Tom. And I'll address more of this on Monday because I didn't get to your question here. Partly because of the kind of offense he wants to run, which we're not able to run just yet. But to your point, a lot of those tight ends are butt sorry. So it is maddening when you see some of those kids. You're like, he's not a Florida State caliber player and he's on scholarship here. And that guy isn't either. And either is that guy or that guy. It is troubling.
Do you still believe in Jackson West?
Yeah, he's not coming along as quickly as I had hoped. He'll fight you.
He apparently won't block you, though, because if he did, then he'd be out there.
He'd have to be out there.
Maybe we get to see some Jackson West.
Well, he should
tomorrow.
He should see a lot of gas, Tom.
I suppose we should.
I'd like to believe we're going to see a bunch of our backups in this game against UMass, but I'm not going to do the thing. I'm not putting it out there in the ether. I like us to win. You know that.
Yeah,
Don't forget this, by the way, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., myself, T.
Right
Lizzie,
here.
right here, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant.